Okay, so this is the Taurus TH9, and there's many ways you can carry this, and we're just going to make sure that it's empty here, both in the chamber, mag well, and magazine, which it is. And I'm going to insert a snap cap. This is the one that I like to use once in a while, where you just put it into the chamber, and then you can just rack the slide and pull the trigger and stuff. I do have other snap caps that I practice failure drills with and stuff like that. This one is meant to stay inside the chamber, so you can just continue to rack the slide, pull the trigger, stuff like that. So I'm going to put this in there, and I'm going to show you different ways you can carry the Taurus TH9. It's really nice because it gives you a lot of options. Okay, so the first option of carry is like this, and this is on fire. And basically, your first pull is going to be double action, meaning that your finger contributes to cocking the hammer. And it's a very long pull. You got a little bit of play right here and then a wall. And then as you can see, it's gradual, 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 and then breaks. And then after that, the slide comes back and cocks the hammer for you. And then you feel for the reset on your index finger. And there it is right there. And there's your second shot right there. So the safety of pulling the trigger like this is very, very good because it's a heavier pull. It's kind of like a revolver type pull. So it is quite heavy, which means that you can carry this on fire like in an inside waistband, and carry it in ways that you could not carry, say, something like this Glock 20 Gen 4 10mm with a 5.5 pound trigger. You know, this is something that inside the waistband, you have to be careful of that trigger. But this right here, the trigger is so heavy that, it's going to be very difficult to set off that trigger unless you're jumping on a pogo stick and putting it underneath the trigger. So it's very unlikely that it's going to go off. So that's one way to carry it. The next way to carry it is on safe, which is that. And then you come down like that. You swipe the safety off and then pull the trigger. But I don't think that's necessary, but some people might want to do that. The next way to carry is cocked and locked like your 1911. And the trigger on this one is still a little bit heavy, to the point where doing cocked and locked I think wouldn't be too bad. So it's like your 1911, so you got it cocked and locked. And then when you come out of your holster, when your muzzle is pointing at the target and you're aware of your backstop, then you brush it down and then you pull the trigger. So just like the 1911, and I like how it has that feature to do that. So once again, cocked and locked. And this is fully ambi too, so a left-handed person can enjoy the fact that you have the slide stop, slide release on both sides. You have the mag release on both sides, and you have the safety on both sides. So everything's pretty much the same on both sides, which is why it's amazing that the price of this gun, falling in the $250 to $300 is amazing. So this one I paid a little bit more for it. I was up to about $299 or something like that. And then I bought extra mags for it and stuff like that. So anyway, so them are three ways you can carry. The first way is on fire. This is probably how I would carry it. The second way is cocked and locked, like that. And then the third way is safety, like that. And then you have to swipe off the safety, but you have that long double action trigger pull. And people have to understand about the decocker here is this works even if you do cocked and locked. So don't worry if you're cocked and locked and you want to come down and you want to decock it. Don't worry, just hit it. It's not going to set off the round or anything. Same thing if you're shooting and you don't want to shoot anymore and it's in single action like this. You fire 2 or 3 shots and you want somebody else to take a couple shots, just go like that and you're all set to go. So something like this, carrying it in this mode right here would be fine for inside the waistband and stuff like that. And that's one of the advantages of having a heavy trigger pull, is you can get away with stuff that you couldn't get away with this big beast right here, as far as inside the waistband and carrying different ways, whereas this full-size handgun can be carried in different ways. And you have the 4 1/4 inch barrel, and you have the full grip, so you're able to grip the firearm completely. And this could lend itself to nice accuracy and long range if you had to take a long range shot and stuff like that. So that's one of the benefits of this right here. And these come with 17 round mags, which are Mech Gar, a really good maker of magazines. They're known for that. And I've got 3 mags so far, but I'm planning on getting a couple more. So if you have 3 magazines, you're well over 50 some rounds, I think. So you're going to be set. So you got one in the mag well, and then you could carry 2 in a magazine holder on your other side of your hip or whatever. So like I said, this is something you can waistband. You could get away with it with this one because of the heavier trigger pull. So between this magazine and 2 in here, I mean, you're looking at over 50 rounds, and you're not really carrying a whole lot. So you got quite a bit of firepower there. And even though something like this, I got 30 round mags for these, it's not always necessary to have that many rounds, but I'm just saying that for a package for this size and that heavier trigger pull and stuff like that, being able to carry it like in a waistband or something if you want, and then having them 2 extra mags right here, I mean, you can work it out where you can carry it and stuff like that. And I think this would be something for a good gun for somebody new because of the fact that it's a heavier trigger pull, both on double and single action, so that you're less likely to make mistakes, and we all know that the discipline of keeping your finger off the trigger and stuff like that. So if somebody was on the range and they started off double action and they were kind of going like this, but they weren't really pointing at the target, you can catch them quick enough and tell them, keep that finger right there where that pad is. This pad was not made for the thumbs forward grip, by the way. This pad was made so that you'll keep your finger off the trigger. It's a place to rest your index finger like that until you're on the trigger. So a lot of people thought that was a thumbs forward grip thing. It isn't, actually. It's for this right here. That's the purpose why it was made. But anyway, I like the looks of it and stuff like that. And you can use plus P, but like most manufacturers of these firearms, like Taurus and some of the cheaper models, they say that limited use, meaning that you don't want to have a steady diet of plus P ammo, but there is some ammo that will get your energy levels up that will be not plus P, but act like plus P. For instance, Federal 70 grain frangible round, that one is going to be over 400 foot-pounds, but it's not plus P. So you're getting the energy, but you're not having the pressures and stuff that go with that energy like you would on plus P rounds. So anyway, a lot of people have said that, running plus P through this, several batches and stuff, no problem. I mean, if you're training all the time with this thing and you're running plus P, who knows how long it'll last. I haven't tested something like this. Maybe somebody else will test all plus P, but I do know that the manual specifically states that, use a little here and there. It's kind of like what they're saying. They say use your range ammo to non plus P, and then use plus P kind of sparingly. And it's nice to know that some handguns, like my Ruger American, for instance, 45 Pro, now that one has sustained plus P tests on that handgun, which means you can run plus P and not even have to worry about it. So, and maybe it's the case that something like this could do fine running all plus P. You just never know. Somebody would have to test it. And they'd have to test several firearms because each firearm is going to be different from another in some ways, some minor ways. But But anyway, I kind of like the grip. It's strong and aggressive, and it has a natural pointing ability. Like when you point, it points a little bit right on, whereas the Glock, sometimes I'll have to, the angle that's on this, sometimes I'll have to dip down just a little bit to find the sights, whereas this is just straightforward. So it just depends on your hand and the way you hold the firearm and stuff like that. But this one seems to point naturally, and it's really nice looking in black. I love how it looks in black. Really nice. So, and then I've got a little snap cap in it so I can practice, practice racking the slide and pulling the trigger and stuff like that, so it's a lot of fun. And then I have my other rounds, my other snap caps that I'll put in here. I'll practice failure drills, like double feeds, stovepipes, stuff like that. I practice that on every firearm that I have pretty much. But the Novak sights look pretty nice. I kind of like them. So anyway, something like this, for the price and stuff, I think it's worth it. I think I like this better, even though the trigger isn't as good as the Taurus G3 and some other lower cost firearms. I like kind of a heavy trigger anyway, because I'm used to revolvers and stuff like that, so I can handle it. And I can get on target with this thing. I don't have any problems with that, so it's not an issue for me. But anyway, hope you enjoyed the video. 17 round mag, so 17, one in the chamber would be 18 rounds to start you off with, which is pretty cool. So for a budget gun, and then this one does come with 2 mags, by the way. So one in the gun and then one outside the gun. But anyway, thanks for watching, you guys.